We should probably go there. That's new. Oh, I don't want the epilogue yet.
Epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley?
No, not yet.
Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Okay, never mind. This is just a room that shows you what epilogue. Reassurance button. The button says gym. Okay, I believe now we've completed basically everything on that side of the map. Time to get an easy achievement. We just got a hard one. Free achievement. Get yours right now. Number 1, ball 11. Number 2, receive your new achievement. Number 3, no more steps. It just works. Get yours right now.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Kind of looking like the Stanley Escapes ending. Alright.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
I do like the unachievable achievement in the first game that is, you know, meant to be a point made about the way that people approach these games as checklists and use achievements oftentimes in supplement of curiosity and direction rather than what they originally were created for effectively, which is to reward those. But there were a lot of gamers who were really angry they couldn't 100% this game. I really, really like it. The idea that, no, you cannot get this achievement at all. You will never be able to get this achievement. Doesn't matter how you attempt to. It's a point being made about your drive for completionism. It's trying to get you to question that. But come on, what if you gave me the achievement? Because I need it for the completion. Come on, my gamer score. Like the unopenable door in Disco Elysium? Exactly. I think that's also a really good exploration of the same thing. Come on. Like, it's so close, I can see it even opening. What if I just jam my hand in there? Come on. I'll come back with a bigger bucket. Maybe with a little bit more reassurance, I might be able to make my way through. That lever is going to work at some point, by the way.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
But then they're out here just giving away achievements, like clicking door 430 a measly 5 times. That's effectively what the Settings World Champion basically felt like another kind of version of. Can you find them? Can you find them? Can you find them? Can you find them? Collect them all? Can you find them? Can well, I mean, look, we'll do that later. That looks like a central object in this here room. Jump circle exit. Excuse me, I don't want that either. I don't know, I think it is collectibles and exit, basically, as a remainder of what we have here. Hey, No Life King. Good to see you. Welcome on in. I'm so pleased I'm playing it too.
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Oh, that's such an out of place animation. I love it. I almost want to go back again. Ah. They thought.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
I legitimately believe that. Very legitimately. I think in any game where, not in any game, not as a rule, but I think a lot of games that give you an amount of collectibles that, you know, they're rare or hard to find, or, you know, they're effectively entreating you to do another playthrough of the game at some point, because without looking up a guide, you're not going to get all of them, those kinds of ones, right? I think that those games should always have 25% more of the collectible than is required for the top level of the achievement. I just don't think everyone should have to collect every single one of them. I think if you want to do the extra 25%, sure, do it, but there's no extrinsic reward, right? Do it intrinsic. Hey, Bob.
Coffee delivery.
Thank you. Can you find all the magic eggs? I mean, there's a couple in your name at least. All right, maybe it's time to go into the hole again. There might be an achievement there for collectibles. This man does not respect the Korok. I do not. I like, see, the Koroks as a design philosophy in Breath of the Wild, right, is the idea that anytime you inspect something, there should be a reward for it, right? Anytime anything looks like it will reward you, it does. But you just shouldn't have to hit all of them. It doesn't make sense. It is... I've already said everything I think I have to say. I would just be saying it in different ways. Did you do the infinite hole? Infinitely. I'm still there, in a sense. You and Pete could play Spiritfarer, a game with intrinsic rewards for collecting all the friends. Pete recently mentioned wanting to play Rogue Legacy 2, actually.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
I mean, yeah. No epilogue? No, I went to the epilogue. Maybe the epilogue does something new, however, after having done everything else. I'm more than happy to test that. It's nice to have Peek back. I've just seen him on screen there for a second. He's been away in Japan for a work trip for the last couple of weeks. Been really nice settling back into just a domestic groove since. Epilogue's on the other side, that's right. Epilogue time? Big wrapping statement. None whatsoever. Alright, we're good. Man. The terrain here is very unfriendly to the pedestrian. I'm gonna wear out these souls working in this place, I'll tell you that. You are. There's a door in the apple. These barking old dogs on my feet, they're howling. Got a couple barking dogs, need to have a couple hush puppies. There's a door I'm not seeing. This door goes out here. Is this the one that people were talking about being the door I hadn't gone through in the epilogue area? It's all cool. I just needed to know so I know whether or not I have. All right, back to the other way. Here we go. I know nobody's doing band names anymore, but aggressive divot would certainly be a good one. Excuse me. Patent pending TMC and R, please. Thank you. That's the name of my post-punk pop wave groove band. I don't want to backseat too hard, but did you see the QR code on the merch sign? I did, and then we watched it live on stream. Something I really enjoyed actually about the Alan Wake remaster is they have a lot of QR codes just embedded in the world, and going to them gives you little vignettes from the actor behind Alan Wake. Super cool.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay, are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
I didn't think they could do it again.
I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh, this legitimately is actually great, though. If we launched in and this was the loading title at the very start, I would be beyond incredibly hyped. Which, well done! They picked my number. They absolutely did. Oh, good. My bumpscosity is still there. I'm just making sure they're still respecting my bumpscosity. It's got extreme control vibes. I mean, it has the color red and bold white text. But also the curvature of the world, the kind of like, you know, a shifting terrain and architecture. I'm all on board, and I would also love more games in that kind of general realm. Remedy, please. It's unfortunate the final DLC for Control was kind of...
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
I think it was really important at the start of the game that they asked us if we played Stanley Parable before, to which I answered yes. I think what might have happened here is that because I said yes, it only required me to reach a single ending in the original Stanley Parable before it said, hey, start doing the new content. Here's the new content. Here's the new content, right? Because you clearly know the Stanley Parable and you know what we were doing, right? And here is an explanation of why we don't know the exact direction we would have to take in order to recreate that feeling for you. And then they drop it in here. Apparently, if you answer no, the new content doors aren't there yet. Yep, that makes 100% sense. Let's go. So, if this is Stanley Parable 2, and they know everything I've done in order to get here, I have to try some endings that were in the original Stanley Parable as well. Let's close this door.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
So no on that one. Although, you know, the next edge case to test is what if I did it again, and then again, and then again. I'm gonna save us from doing that, though.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
We also see the Get Well Some Days here. The balloons that I'd not selected in particular, but...
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Neither you nor I know Rawsome yet.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Hey, Seth. Good to see you. $13, $14, $15. Well, that's 20 times total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
Yeah, we'll do that later.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
I feel so much better now. Oh, like I can really stretch, but not just my physical arms, like my mental and spiritual arms as well. Oh. It's a good bucket. Salutations, Alpha. Good to see you. Nothing needs our attention out or through any of those.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Sure. We'll follow him for the first time.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Okay, but unfortunately I don't... Where would a bucket want to be? If not with its friends.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
It does.
You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
I have to fight this room.
It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
That is mine.
I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket?
Barbaric.
Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
I first met this bucket back in, it would be 2012 at this point. So that's 10 years ago.
I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all.
Okay.
Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
I'm not done letting him have it.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see, I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
So a decade ago, right? And it only
You know
is...
what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Okay, now he's gone. I don't want this bucket broom closet. You have to understand. I'm trying to get rid of it. This guy is just adding weight to this. These stickers are made out of the heaviest material known to man. This bucket is a burden. It is the weight of my shoulders. It's the weight of the world on Atlas's shoulders. This is a heavy bucket. Do you want it? I'll leave it for you. I'll do anything to not be holding this bucket at this point, please. You didn't even want it in the first place. You just wanted to take it away from me. But now that you know that I actually don't want it, suddenly, oh, what? Now it's my burden. This is cleaning supplies. This is a broom closet. It should be here. Hang on. No. I'm back on the broom closet's initial side. How do I drop? I see, you're gonna play it like that. If you don't want to take the bucket off of me, I'll stay here until I die. A skeleton and a bucket in here forever. I got time. Yeah, I should probably leave. Come to think of it, it's actually quite a nice bucket.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
All right then, maybe I did. Who's to say? You're awaiting input, I see.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Really, the bucket has an emotional support Stanley at this point. Ah, finally.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Done. I bet there are only 5 of these thoughts. If they promised you something big for it, then yeah, that would probably only be 5, but because they say there's none...
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Technically a support gym. That is a good point, well made.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Fun, clever thing. Like, obviously the bucket is a gag that's included, blah, blah, blah. But the thing the bucket is really doing here is delineating new and old content, because it is a new line recorded of Stanley and the bucket went to the mind control facility. Which shows you, oh, this is new. This is not the same old. I'm holding this bucket. It's referring to this bucket. Maybe it'll be new because of that. Which it will be. I'll give it a go. Maybe the bucket has some bright ideas about how to stop the end of the world out here.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Stanley and the bucket. Stanley and the bucket. Stanley and the bucket. I don't know. I don't know how to enunciate for the voice
Monitors
correctly.
jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
See? Emotional support Jim. Well, I guess that technically means this isn't my bucket.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content.
Or
Walking,
bucket.
eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
I didn't know the bucket was based. Too. I mean, you won't let me go up here. These buttons doing a whole load of nothing. Eric McGann, thank you very much for the resubscription. Enjoy very much in chat. Welcome back to the Republic. Alright. Let's see what this bucket can do. Mind controls idle, awaiting input.
When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Time to save humanity.
But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Let's go with this silly bird. I like this one. Ah, excellent.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
Doesn't make sense, Burnside
Mind
real.
controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
This is me scrolling through r/big boy for like rhinos acting like dogs. Yeah, I'll happily spend the rest of my life doing this. Oh, look, it's a big dog. And it's literally every other animal. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Figurine Finders Committee meeting today in the meeting room. Well, I mean, I think I will go to the meeting room then. Although I can take the long road around. Knowing your city. Oh, we've seen that one before. Stanley Parable being like, spending your vacation on YouTube is a waste. It can be. I've tried recently save a couple video essays to stop rewatching things. The 3 is off-centered there. Interesting. To stop rewatching things as much on YouTube.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Which, on surprise, has felt very refreshing and has meant that I've seen a lot more new things. No longer the day of 12 hours of the same video essay, literally the same video essay on repeat again and again and again. It's just a comfort thing, you know?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
449, 450.
Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider.
This is almost a bucket's worth of calm and contemplation.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Trust the completionist instinct. Why wouldn't they just tell us something will happen? This investigation, this room, they feel pointless, TBH. Weird spinning figurines. Ideas in the center. Saw one in the cargo room. Employee 421 building a bridge. Do we need contracts for them? Potential liability, NDA. The bonus stuff in what we know, what we forgot, and what we didn't know, what we don't know yet. Can we sell them? Obviously, more money. It's sold together. How many of them there are? Negative absolute value of 5. Why floating? Magic. Dreams. Our quarterly success. Magnets. That's crossed out. Training exercise by management. Artist rendering of employee 03. What do they look like, 427? Why do they kind of look like 427, which is me? To make them employees, maybe. Interns, yes. What do they want? Our data, stock options, and money. How can you tell you spotted one? What makes them float in the air? Who took these pictures of them? Maybe we are the collectibles. Shut the frick up. To whom it may concern. I managed to pick up sounds unusual to our regular office ambiances, or local audio sources using an array of cardioid microphones, also known as a directional mic, a microphone which picks up sound from a particular area. Analysis of the recordings allowed me to triangulate the source of the strange noise. Data shows that, in all likelihood, it's coming from a dark area behind a very warm place. I also picked up what looks to be reverberance off of a porcelain surface. Anyone have any leads on this? Wouldn't you like to know? Okay, reverberance off a porcelain surface, dark area, very warm place, source of levitation. Big nose on that one. Gave him a big old honker. Difficult and finding, so they become increasingly difficult over the course of finding them. Got it. Follow clues implanted by 416. We can do it. Red room? Question mark. Figlies are hard to find. They're now called. So these are going to be each hints. Thank you. Good luck. Is that in Windings? Like that says something. How can we find them? Bottom text. Anything more? There are many questions. There was no memo from management. We have to synergize our resources to earn their retrieval. We've seen the agenda before. I just wonder if there's anything between here and the end. Nope. Okay. There will be a reward for finding them all, it says over on the other side. And, actually, there we go. Places to search, and there's 6. Got it. Is this some kind of game? Looks like a spelunking man. Lol. Looks like 427. 5 there be, just take it from me. Gotta collect them all. A private but smelly place for an important person. So that's gonna be in the executive bathroom. Somewhere both red and blue. There is a choice that requires a red or blue door choice. Stairs, something to do with stairs, probably going downstairs where the executive bathroom otherwise would be. A large room, lots of boxes. So that's gonna be like factory. There must be a point to this, I agree. Warehouse access plan. Produce 1 plank to allow ease of access past fence. Construct bridge to allow collection of shiny float. Retrieve Chris's remains from warehouse floor. Construct new, structurally sound bridge. Okay, so we can see the same meeting profiles out here. Pieces of evidence, thousands. Decreasing over time. The F files are confidential. Figurine Finders Committee, neat. Hey, Silly. How's it going? Welcome on back. By the way, thank you very much for the tier 1 subscription for the 36th month. That is 3 years. Did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite. I did! Also, I get that reference. Hang on. Is this new? No. Clues, myclue.jpg. Where are they? Please do not leave the office before reporting back any of the new findings. Teamwork and communication are of great importance in this unprecedented time of investigation. Beautiful.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I guess.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Let's try the executive bathroom first, I think, actually. I got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. Say that's a lovely purse. Course and purse?
Another miniature Stanley figurine.
I know about that.
You know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Get around, Silly. Best of luck with the finals tomorrow. It's a slant rhyme, it's okay. I mean, oh man, you got to take a lot of liberties with your syllables for that one to work out, I still think. The beige pages. Oh? Business strategy, just straight up killing a panda. Blunt, but... not entirely untrue. Let's go down. Is this a mod or a game? Yep. Ooh, we're going to real sub-basement. You should leave a negative Steam review saying that you were disappointed in the poem in the collectible room and that it wasn't in strict iambic pentameter. Maybe they'll feature that in Stanley Parable 3. A poem in strict iambic pentameter or my negative review. It just goes until you press it again. I am the most expensive boss. They could hide like a level transition in there, like allow you to do that and then change everything about the outside world. And maybe they do, I don't know.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet.
Okay,
and
we'll
so
do
the
it.
boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I'm pretty sure it's 8888.
8.
Achievement unlocked.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
I'm pretty sure it's 8888. I'm like almost entirely certain.
2845.
Maybe it's 3333. No. Let's do a schoolyard
It
one.
turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
What's the immersive sim one? 1407? Maybe I should have tried 1407 as well. I don't feel so bold without my bucket.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
You know what? He's right, actually. I should get back on track. I'm gonna die at the end of the corridor. It doesn't make any sense to go down that corridor if we're gonna die at the end of it. We want to see new content, not to actually die. So we'll probably go back to the same room that we've done multiple times over. Look at this new content.
Of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for. Nope, still on board with death.
Yeah, no, I thought it over. Came to the opposite conclusion. I'm very resolute and steadfast about it, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Seems like a major design flaw if the security will just override itself if you input stuff wrongly for too long.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Death? Maybe I should. I'm not going to make that too much of an extended bit.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, narrator.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
The office layout. The blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the start of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game we built. So this is a super cool area to go through the first time that you've completed the game. I don't know if it will have anything different in it, because the path that we took to get here was not marked with anything new. Some nature paintings over there. Stanley's computer. There might be an input terminal here that we want to pay a little attention to. I should do this with the bucket, apparently. I didn't know I had the option to get the bucket again. I don't know where the bucket is. Just gonna check some of the stuff. Warzone. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and then wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. That's one of the screenshots from the marketing for the Ultra Redux. So there is new stuff in here, but... question, will it feature capybaras? Dear narrator, how do you say in shape? Michael The Rock Martin. After the second trailer we sent out, asked people to email the narrative questions. We initially planned to use these in further promotional materials, but never found the perfect use for them. Here's a selection of those emails. Dink donk, gay, are you gay? Yeah, that's what... The duality of man. You ask for input from people, you will get this one and the previous one. Neat. No, I'm bi? Hell yeah. Same. You can see with the old Raps Pride flag there in the emote sets. Neat one. I don't know if I've uploaded the other ones, because I made the other flags as well. Well, not the other flags, obviously. There's uncountable set. I made some other flags. I don't know if I put those on Twitch yet. Should do if I haven't. Alright, yeah, I think we'll get out of here. I'm gonna make certain there's not, like, specifically a new wing that deals with the content they've put in the new one. Actually, this does look like it deals with the two. No, Boss's office.
And finally, he pushed the number 9.
Kevin Briding, the voice of the narrator, recorded...
Stanley walked over the bridge.
These are some early takes that we're not using in the final game.
Stanley pushed the big red button.
Okay. I don't think we need to stay in there. Maybe we need to stay in there for like 5 hours to play a new line or something like that. Like, that's the kind of game we're dealing with, but I've done that before, and that's the kind of stuff you do off camera. All right. Time for us to get out of here.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
That's a choice. Sometimes the choice to let something time out is a choice. Ah, yes. The final input. Welcome, Stanley, to heaven. I always knew heaven was just going to be buttons. Just buttons as far as the eye can see. I'm pretty sure at this point my only choice is to quit the game, right? Like, begin the game again. I think... Doesn't the heaven ending just leave me here? Jim. The sequel is now paused? Okay. Begin the game again.